So you've just had a really big match, you were running all over the place, but now your body is getting sore. So in this video, I'm going to be going over how you can recover after a soccer match, and I'm going to be giving you some of the things that I typically do after my games. Hey, what's up guys? It's Dave here from SimplySoccer, where we're helping you to improve your game and stand out on the pitch. And on this channel, we release daily soccer tips, technique, and training videos, all designed to help you do just that. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any videos, and make sure you hit that bell icon as well so you're always updated when we release new videos for you and when we do live streams, which we do every single week. So we all know that your pre-game routine is incredibly important. You know, the days and hours leading up to the game, what you do in that time can really determine and have a huge effect on how you do in your actual match. But your post-game routine can be just as important as your pre-game routine. Think about it. In a typical soccer match, players can run anywhere from like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 miles, and much of this is done from turns, sprints, quick changes in direction. So your body is going to be a little beat up, especially if you've gotten, some hard tackles on you as well. So you need to make sure you're looking after your body after games. So in this video, I'm just going to give you a few things you can do to not only start feeling better after games and not as sore, but to make sure you recover much more quickly as well, so you can get back up and feel fresh for your next training and your next match. Okay, so the first thing I like to do after matches almost immediately is do a cool down, and I don't see a lot of players doing this. I'm sure like at professional level and like levels like that, at collegiate level we would do this as well, but even at the collegiate level, all we would do is jog to one end line and back, and that is not really, in my eyes, an adequate cool down if you're trying to recover. So after your matches, right after it's finished and you shake hands with the opposition and your coach has told you whatever it is that he's going to tell you, get a 10 to 15 minute cool down before you leave. And this can involve things like dynamic stuff and static stretching as well. Think about it, when you go for a long run or you do interval training or something, you'll usually do like a 5-minute cool down at the end where you'll do a nice little light jog, or you'll do some walking. And then after that, you should be doing some stretching. It's the same in a game. Again, you've covered a lot of ground in this game. You've been moving your body for, 90 minutes if you've been on the whole time. It's gonna be sore. You can't just go from like 100% to 0 sitting down and doing nothing, because your body is going to take a little bit of damage from that. So one thing I like to do is just kind of jog a little bit, make sure my body's moving. Then I like to get into some static stretching. I like to cover, more of the big muscle groups. I like to cover definitely all of my lower body, because if I don't, I'm just going to tighten up much more after that match, which is going to make it harder for me later. It's also good to stretch immediately after your games, because you don't want to be doing static stretching after not having warmed up or not having your body warm. After a match, you've been running around so much that your body is warm, but it's not going to take too long for it to cool down. Meaning if you just go off the pitch and then sit down for 30 minutes, your body's going to cool down and you've missed your opportunity to get those static stretches in. So immediately after a game, you've done all the stuff you need to do, shake hands, talk to who you need to talk to, get the instruction from your coach or whatever. You need to be making sure you're doing a nice little jog to cool down and then getting your stretching in. So that's the first thing you want to make sure you're doing, getting that cool down in, because you just don't want to go from having played as hard as you can, hopefully, in a match 100%, to then just going to sitting down or lying down and doing nothing. It's a great time to stretch out your body, and it's a great time to get a cool down in. And again, I believe this is almost as important as your warm-up before the match. Okay, so I'm gonna go over what I typically do after matches from this point on. So I usually have to drive to my matches, so it kind of is disappointing because I have to be in a car for 30 minutes after my matches, and even after stretching and cooling down, it still tightens up my body to the point where when I'm getting out of the car, I'm like stumbling a bit because my body is tightened up so much. So one of the first things I do when I get home is I take a cold shower. Now that may not seem like the most, like appealing thing to you, but it's gonna do wonders for your recovery and your body, and you're gonna feel great after it. So just kind of, get through it, be a little brave on this one, bite your lip if you have to, and get in there, do whatever you have to do. After the first 20 seconds, you'll be fine. But a cold shower or an ice bath after a game is a great thing you can do for your recovery, for your muscles. So after getting out of the cold shower, I'll feel a lot better. Now, my muscles are still going to tighten up and feel sore after that, but it definitely alleviates some of the soreness. Now, what I like to do after that is just make sure I don't sit down right away, because if I sit down or lie down, my body's just gonna tighten right back up. So I'll usually do something that requires me to move around a little bit. Nothing strenuous, but just kind of walk around. Maybe I'll actually go for a walk. You know, you don't want to just go from having played your heart out and played really hard to motionless. Your body's just going to seize up, and then it's going to be more difficult to do the things you need to do. So I'll just go for a walk. I'll just do something that keeps me active, even if it's just walking around my house. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. I just keep myself in a little bit of motion so I don't tighten up right away. Next, what I'll do, if I got whacked or hit somewhere, or I'm really, really sore in an area, like for example, my knees or my back or something, I will ice that area. And this is very important. You know, one of the reasons the cold shower is so effective is because, you know, using heat-cold therapy is really good at allowing your muscles to recover. So I like using an ice pack, and what I'll do is just on whatever area it is, I'll ice it for 20 minutes, and then I will take the ice off for like 20, 30 minutes, and then ice it again, and I'll see how it's doing at that point. If it continues to be sore and I need a little more, I'll keep icing it until it's feeling a little more comfortable. I won't go too crazy. I'm not gonna be icing it on and off for 20 minutes the whole day, but it's good to get some ice on the areas that are particularly painful and sore, especially if it's areas like your knees, your back, your ankles and things like this, because it's just going to speed up the recovery process. Okay, so that's what I'll do immediately after the game. I'll come back, I'll have the cool down at the pitch. I'll come back, have my ice or cold shower or an ice bath. I don't usually do ice baths, only if I really think it's necessary, but I'll do a cold shower. I'll make sure I stay moving for a little bit, and then I'll ice any part of my body I feel needs to be iced. Now let's talk about what you're gonna do the next day, because you're gonna wake up really sore most of the time. If you worked hard in that match, you gave it your all, you're going to wake up to stiff muscles and soreness. It's going to be hard to get out of bed sometimes. Now, it's critical on this day that you do a few things. First and foremost, this should be a rest day for you. You do not want to go from having just, run until you couldn't run anymore in a match to then go in and doing an extreme workout at the gym. Now, if your body has adapted to be able to do that, like I'm sure there are athletes who do that. However, if you're incredibly sore, this is not the best idea. So what I like to do is just go for a recovery run. The one thing I believe you shouldn't do after these games is do absolutely nothing. Yes, you need to rest and you need to relax, but by doing nothing, again, your body is going to tighten up. What I think is a more effective method is just go for a light jog, a light run, nothing strenuous, nothing that's going to do any damage to your body, nothing that's going to tighten you up anymore. In fact, what it's going to do is actually loosen your body up a little more and have you feeling much better, because it's going to increase the blood flow to those areas that need it. So day after a match, maybe a 10, 20 minute very light jog. You're not doing this for fitness, you're doing this for recovery, to get yourself moving, because when you're in that state, when you have the blood circulating through your body much more easily, it allows your body to recover faster. So instead of just sitting still and doing nothing on the day after a match, go for a light jog, go for a walk even. That would be better than sitting down and doing nothing. Having said that, you really want to make sure that on this day after your match, on your recovery day, you're not doing too much. You're not doing strenuous stuff. You don't have like a intense workout you have to do, a running session. You might have soccer practice, but usually most teams will have a recovery practice or recovery day for after games. The biggest thing on this day is you just don't want to do anything too strenuous, because that's going to delay your recovery time. You see, when your muscles are like this, they're rebuilding, they're recovering from the workout you just went through the day before. Yet if you're now asking them to go, be engaged more and to continue working, they can't go through that recovery process. So make sure, again, you are resting. Again, go for your nice light jog because that's going to help. Again, while you're doing that jog, it's for recovery. It's not to, you're not, jogging as hard as you can, trying to set a new mile time or something like that. You're just going for a nice light jog to get the blood flowing. That's it. Another great thing you can do on this day is stretch. Now be careful about this because I'm not a big fan of static stretching without warming up. So something you can do is once you've gone for your jog, immediately after do your stretches because you just don't want to do static stretches from nothing. You want to get warmed up before it. So go for your 10-20-minute jogging, light jogging session, get the blood flowing, maybe get a little bit of a sweat going so your body's warm, and then you can do your stretching. And doing the stretching is going to help as well. And that's basically it, guys. It really isn't that complicated to recover. You just have to be disciplined to do so because I know it's very tempting to go out there and continue practicing. I know it's very tempting to not take the cold shower or not ice the parts of your body that you need to or not do the stretching or recovery run. I know it's a lot easier not to, but if you just keep your discipline after matches and do the proper recovery that you know you need to be doing, you'll feel a lot better and you'll recover a lot more quickly. All right, guys, let me know down in the comments below, what is your recovery routine? Do you do something different than what I do? Do you have something that maybe I should add to my routine or you think should be included in what I've been saying here? Let me know down in the comments. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you share this video with your teammates and friends. Like it if you enjoyed the content and subscribe if you're new to Simply Soccer. I will have 2 more videos come across the screen here so you can continue to learn and get better. And as always, we will have a video out tomorrow at 5 p.m. Thank you. Remember, this is Simply Soccer, where we're working to improve your game and help you stand out on the pitch. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.